Y'all just need to man the fuck up. Halloween. It's that time of year I remember fondly as a kid for the seasonal episodes of shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy, K&D, Billy and Mandy, and Robot Boy, just to name a few. It's that time of year where everybody goes out to buy snacks and not trick or treat, because that can be on some bullshit sometimes. Buy and make costumes and binge on some scary stuff. Everything from Jason to Freddy, Pennywise, Michael, Sadako, all the way to Pinhead. Again, just to name a few. But there's one particularly scary series that I want to talk to y'all about.
We interrupt this program to bring you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage, the Cowardly Dog!
Courage. One of the greats of the late 90s cartoon era. I won't bore you with how great it is, so go ahead and watch a nostalgic video on the greatness of Courage. But I'll tell you this much, it ain't scary. Like it really isn't. Frankly, I refuse to believe that there are people out there who are scared, let alone fucked up by Courage. Because honestly, what's there to be scared about? And I know that there are people over there trying to be like,
Oh no, bro. Courage fucked me up in my dreams, bro.
Fucked up? How?
Explain, bro.
Why? Who? Was it Fred? I mean, he's creepy at most, but he's not scary. Was it possessed Muriel? Come on, bruh. Car broke?
Staring road, yes?
Tarantella.
Now, if you'll both sign down there on the X.
Fucking Ramses, dog.
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
No. Just no. Dog, I refuse to believe there are people out there who got fucked up by this guy.
Oh, come on.
The same motherfucker that did this.
What's your... Huh?
Y'all are just honestly tripping over nothing, fam. Now, if any of those things scared you as a kid, or scared you now as an adult, that can only mean one of two things. Either A, I'm hard, and Courage did not just faze me at all as a kid, or now as an adult. Or B, y'all are weak, and simply need to man the fuck up. Frankly, I prefer the latter. Let me explain to y'all little bitches why. Now, you're not exactly talking to someone who considers themselves hard. I mean, you're listening to someone who got scared by the PS1 tech demo Dinosaur and that next level music from Karushi. However, you are talking to a student of animation, and I think I have an idea why. It's not because Courage is just an excellent coping mechanism for the viewers, but it's also because of the principles of staging and anticipation. You can see this shit coming for miles, and you can ready yourself for what's about to ensue. Permit me to elaborate. Now, let's take Possessed Muriel for example. In the episode The Demon in the Mattress, staging begins with the arrival of the cursed mattress. Once you see the face in the mattress, Muriel get possessed by the mattress, her become green because of the mattress, you can now expect and or anticipate paranormal shit to ensue. Speaking of the head spin, it's a very slow head spin, so you can see that one coming. I mean, everyone knows that their head doesn't spin a full 360 degrees and it doesn't pop off. And even then, popping off of heads happens later in the series, so I don't know why those aren't considered scary and why this one is. I mean, I guess it is the first time it happens, but let's not argue semantics. Now, let's take one more example from one of my favorite episodes, The Curse of King Ramses. Yeah, sorry, that's just one of my favorite parts from the episode. Staging begins all the way back with the cat burglars. We get a sense of the slab's power and somewhat an idea of what King Ramses looks like, both from his shadow and from the design on the slab. We also have time to anticipate his arrival and reveal from the disappearance of the Ramses carving on the slab.
return the slab.
Now look, I can understand the whole 3D models in a 2D show, but come on, bro. I mean, we've seen what's on the slab, we've seen how he acts, we've seen his curses. I mean, honestly, you just cannot be scared of him. Now remember, it's all a matter of staging and anticipation, being able to see what's happening and readying yourself for what happens. There are moments in the show, however, that do as little as possible of that to make up for some good horror moments. Allow for me to get you with some examples. Now, let's start with the bitch in the big city. Now y'all know exactly where I'm going with this one, so let me not waste your time in putting up context, alright? Courage is walking around, looking for the place to deliver the letter. He wants to try a few doors to see if he finds the right place. Door number 1. For some reason, we get King Ghidorah. Now, there was a lot to take in with that scene. The stage may have been set, you know, the apartment and everything, delivering the letter. But we had very, very little time to anticipate what was behind door number 1, let alone King Ghidorah. So, if anything, you are confused more than scared. Chances are, you were laughing at this when you were a kid. You're probably laughing at this now as an adult. Anywho, the setup continues with a nice Dutch tilt. What's behind door number 2? I'm sorry, I'm watching this live as I record my voice lines over this. Now again, it was like the first door. It's the same setup. The stage has been set, yet we have very little anticipation for what's behind that door. Maybe even less more than what we had last time. I mean, we did not expect to see old footage of a gigantic great white shark, so again, we're confused and we're probably laughing at this. Next door.
I just know something bad is going to happen. Huh?
Now you see that? That I can understand. Now see, the staging may be there, but after the last 2 doors, we have very little anticipation built up to ready ourselves for what the hell we're gonna see next. Again, the 3rd door leaves us confused. We don't know what we're about to see. And then that hits you. That. Now this is where 3D in a 2D realm has ground. I mean, first of all, why is the camera so close? I do not need to be this close to whatever the hell this thing is. And secondly, the animation, the just unnerving, unsettling stop motion animation that's just screaming at you with its eyes popping. Now, if you were a Nickelodeon kid, you'd be somewhat used to it, given the type of mini shows and shows that use stop animation, but to strictly a checkerboard kid, you would never see this coming for miles. Now this, I can understand scarring you. This, I can let slide. Now, let me hit you with one more example of how little anticipation and staging can really hit you with a horror moment. Perfect. Now again, y'all know where I'm going with this, so I won't even bother with context. Now, after a day of driving himself mad to become better for himself, to become perfect, Courage finally gets a bit of respite and finally gets to go to sleep. This is a moment where we can actually see into Courage's mind and see what goes down. Now, there's very little staging. Not only that, peeping into somebody's mind, there's very, very little anticipation we can prepare for ourselves. And then... Bro, I'd be up all night too. I mean, what is that? What are you? Who are you? Why are you in my dreams? Why are you in my head? What reason do you have telling me I'm not perfect? Like, there was absolutely no setup to seeing whatever the hell that thing was. And, you know what? I'll let it slide. If that scarred you as a child, I'm gonna let that one slide too. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. What was the lesson we learned today? Well, never listen to some bastard with a microphone and the time on his hands tell you about the principles of animation or why courage isn't scary, because frankly, it's all subjective. You're still weak in my eyes, but it's all subjective. If you got scarred by it, then I ain't gonna stop you, man. Go ahead, live your childhood trauma. All I'm saying is I just had an idea, so yeah. See you niggas.